Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Columbus Wired Wednesday post-practice presser. I'm Andy Evans, and, of course, you know this guy, Mr. Drew Sample.
How's it going, everybody?
So, Drew,
Yes.
we saw some guys come out here today.
We did. Yeah, we saw quite a few, and this week we were actually able to record all of them.
I know, crazy. We're actually going to have every single player who came out here today full interview.
With good video and audio,
Maybe
hopefully.
even do some YouTube shorts. I don't know. Maybe.
That might be, maybe. If we have
maybe.
some time.
Yeah, if we have time to do it. But you're at least going to be able to see every single person that came out today on our YouTube channel. Travion Henderson, Tyleek Williams, defensive tackle. Let's see. Cade Stover, tight end. Josh Proctor, safety.
Who's
and then
that guy? He's a starting quarterback?
Yeah, there's some. Yeah,
Kyle McCord?
Yes, Kyle McCord. Yeah. He's going to be one of the videos you can check out. And then some guy that's been his favorite target this year that was his favorite target back in high school as well. Considered like the best wide receiver in the country or something like that. I don't know.
Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Marvelous Marv. The money man. He's going to be one of the guys you can check out too. But we got to see all of those guys here today, Drew.
Yes, we did. What's your takeaway? How you feeling with this Notre Dame game?
You know, I mean, the guys can come out and they can say all they want. Like, you know, we're ready, we're psyched, we're prepared, this and that. And obviously it's just how they go out and play the game.
Yes.
Right? They're never going to say they're not ready. They're never going to say that they're not prepared. They're going to say we had a great week of practice. They're going to give you all of the typical responses that they're coached, right, to
Absolutely.
say. But I will say this, that after last weekend's big win over Western Kentucky, that has given me a lot more confidence, even more than what they had to say here today, quite frankly.
Yeah, I kind of get a different feel. Like this time it was like, it seemed like they were really they all seemed like they were really ready to play on Saturday. I think they're all looking forward to the opportunity to play, to see what they are made of. They all seem pretty confident, as you would hope. Like they're not going to come out and say we're going to lose.
Right.
Yeah,
no, I think we're probably going to lose this weekend, but I'm going to try my best. Yeah.
I did say, like, I've never really heard Cade Stover talk before. It was really cool to hear him talk. That guy's no nonsense. He's better with the press than Tommy Eichenberg. It was cool.
He's a cross between like Tommy Eichenberg's kind of chill.
Yeah.
And Steel Chambers, no nonsense. Like he's
not
like as emphatic as Steel, because Steel Chambers, when he gives his answers, I mean, he doesn't pull any punches, but he makes it fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Cade Stover's kind of chill like Tommy Eichenberg, but still he doesn't pull any punches. What did he have to say today?
Cade was just saying, you know, it doesn't matter what they throw at us. We all got rules in every play. We just got to stick to our assignments. I mean, just what you'd hope they'd say.
And then that was pretty much it, right? I mean, that was the same thing that Marvin Harrison Jr. had to say. It was, you know, we're going to go out and we're going to play our game. And he was asked about Kyle McCord and how Kyle McCord prepares for these kinds of offenses, or I'm sorry, games.
Yeah.
And he just said, hey, look, you know, Kyle's been the same way even since high school. You know, he's chill, but he's focused. He knows what he needs to do for the task at hand. And we've seen Kyle McCord progress here since the Indiana game. He really has.
Absolutely. And then Travion Henderson, he just still seems focused, still saying the same things. He feels a lot more mature on the field. He feels like he's not as emotional of a player. He said Kyle McCord's a great leader. Everyone kind of said once Kyle McCord was announced as starter, he definitely carried himself a lot differently, which you would hope. And then the other fun thing was they were giving the big man a hard time for not having a better touchdown dance last Saturday.
Tyleek Williams
got we used to call it the fat man's dream for covering a fumbled ball in the end zone. So it was fun to watch. I mean, I guess as a guy who remembers having those dreams in high school, and then hear this guy saying, if it ever happens again, I already know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So how do you think this game's going to play out? Do you think it's going to be more of an exciting game than last year? I felt like last year's game, like as a fan, was a bit of a snooze fest.
I think a lot of people felt that way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Ohio State goes into the locker room trailing 10-7.
Yeah.
They come out and they completely shut down Notre Dame in the second half. They scored 2 touchdowns, one thrown to Xavier Johnson, which was super exciting touchdown to see them take the lead at that point. But overall, I think it did leave fans a little underwhelmed. Everybody was kind of expecting this, crazy, maybe back and forth, because, I mean, at the time it was, number 2 versus number 5?
And the vibe outside the stadium, like tailgating, and I remember just so many people, like, it felt bigger than when I tailgated for Ohio State, Michigan, like just how many people are out there.
Interesting.
Not that it was bigger, but it was just like a different energy because it wasn't like –
because
it wasn't combative. Like, it wasn't as combative. It was like, okay, we don't play a lot. It's not really it's not really the rivalry of Ohio State, Michigan, but it's still like
it's 2 huge names, 2 huge college football programs
that have been playing for over 100 years.
That have been playing football for over 100 years, and up until last year had only played each other 6 times.
Yeah.
6 times. So last year was number 7. This year is only going to be number 8. So that's why I think you probably got a different vibe tailgating for Notre Dame than
lots of
for that team up
people
north.
wearing Notre Dame shirts said, "Oh, I went to Ohio State, but I've always been a big Notre Dame fan." There was Notre Dame fans wearing Ohio State or Notre Dame alums wearing Ohio State gear. So what do you think? How do you think this game's going to play out?
I think we're going to see a little bit more of a contest. I mean, last year was a contest, especially in that first half, and even really throughout the third quarter. I mean, that game was a Donnybrook. And I told people, don't expect Ohio State to, just come out here and flatten Notre Dame.
That's what we wanted to see.
And that's, of course, that's Buckeye Nation wants to see Ohio State cream every single team that they play every single weekend. And the reality is that just doesn't always happen. Now, I called them to have somewhat of a close game, like a 3-touchdown game with Western Kentucky. And it turned out to be a 53-point drubbing. So, having said that, whatever I predict here is probably going to be patently wrong. It's going to be the complete opposite. But in my heart of hearts, what I've seen on paper, Sam Hartman, the quarterback, who is just torching the FBS right now, Audric Estime, Notre Dame's running back, he actually leads the country right now in rushing yards. Now, I know some of these stats, stat-wise, they're a little bit skewed or inflated for Notre Dame because they have played an extra game than everybody else.
Yes.
They've played 4. Ohio State and most other colleges, college football teams out there have only played 3.
Yeah.
But still, this is a very high-powered offense for Notre Dame. And if Ohio State's defense does not come prepared to play, guys like Josh Proctor, who was out here today, like we said, Tyleek Williams, defensive tackle, Sonny Styles. I forgot to mention him. Sonny Styles is another guy that was that we talked to. And this defense, Tommy Eichenberg, Steel Chambers, the entire defense needs to come to play. But what I really want to see, and I think what Buckeye Nation has been chomping at the bit for, is the defensive line play. All right.
Yeah.
The defensive line play, specifically guys like JT Tuimoloau and Jack Sawyer. They haven't really exploded at this point. And if they're going to kind of say, hey, we've been here the entire time, we were just kind of waiting to make it a real grand entrance, this weekend would be the game to do it. Will they do it, though?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm tempering my reservations as far as this defense, especially this defensive line, is concerned. I think right now, pretty much when it comes to the defensive line, what you see is what you get. There might be a couple of games here and there where they break out and they have like a good game like JT did last year against Penn State, that crazy game he had. Otherwise, I kind of think that it's going to be, this is a safety-driven offense as it is, but I think we're really going to be dependent upon the defensive backs and the linebackers to kind of get the job done week in and week out for this defense. I don't think it's going to be any different this upcoming weekend. But I think we could see kind of a 38-35 kind of game. Yeah. And I know I go ahead, yell at me, scream at me, call me a punk, call me a wuss, a wimp, whatever. I am not actually going to make an official prediction on this game, but I will say this. I think it is close, and I think it's within that 30 range, within like a touchdown or a field goal either way.
All right. I'm just going to say Ohio State in overtime.
Whoa, doctor. The sample man calling
I
it.
don't know.
All right,
Could-
okay.
I'd like to say
One
they're gonna win by
overtime,
14. I
Two
don't know.
overtimes.
I don't know. I hope it's a great game. I hope it's the game we all wanted last year.
Yeah.
Which would be a nice back and forth. I mean, Notre Dame has definitely been a lot more dominant this year.
Yes.
Offensively, their offensive line is really scary, and
Yeah.
I think our defensive line, if they can knock it, if they can even, let's say, just hold double teams, take double teams, allow guys like Tommy Eichenberg and Steel Chambers to make big plays.
Yeah.
If our defensive backs can play their responsibilities, get some more takeaways,
Yeah.
it could go really well. I think, the biggest thing is Ohio State's going to need to build momentum. And as we said on the podcast, one thing that I really respect about Notre Dame is every time NC State, who is their biggest test yet, would start to build momentum, Notre Dame would score right back, and then it would be a back-and-forth lull and fighting for position, fighting over the line of scrimmage, and then NC State gets a big play, and then Notre Dame gets a bigger play. So in that way, they were just outplayed and outclassed. Ohio State needs to be in a similar role. I mean, one thing that I really liked seeing last weekend was Ohio State just hitting momentum, scoring fast, getting momentum.
Yes.
3-and-out score, 3-and-out score,
Yep.
3-and-out score. And I think that if we can maintain that, we can have something like that, and we can get a lead and build on it, much like we had in the Georgia game, which was a big game. We had a lead. We should have won that game. We had the lead a couple times, and we let Georgia get back.
Yep.
So we can't be in that position where I don't want it to come down to the wire. But I would say Ohio State in overtime. But again, I'm going to be chicken here too. I really don't know.
No, you already called.
All right, Ohio
you
State
already
overtime.
said it. All right, you already said it. Yeah.
I would say it's going to be probably like 40. They changed the overtime rules now, right?
Yes, they tweaked them to where the second the second overtime you have to go for 2, and then after the second overtime, all you're doing is going for 2-point conversions. That's it.
Okay.
You're not actually running like a four.
Let's
play
say,
down or whatever.
Let's say
Four-play
Ohio State by 2 in the third overtime.
Ooh.
So I like our new goal line attack with Chip.
With Chip as the
mind.
fullback.
Chip in mind. Maybe we see Chip and
Chop
in there. I mean,
Chip
we don't know.
and Chop.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be exciting. I want to see some different stuff. I want to see this to be really Ohio State's breakout game. If they go out, I mean, they're going to shut up a lot of naysayers. If they get this win, and it doesn't matter if they just get this win. A lot of naysayers are going to go away. As the fan here, who's not the journalist, who gets into these press conferences to take video and audio, I want to see that happen. And for me, that would make my weekend. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think the one thing that Notre Dame has going for it, that if they do win, let's go back and take a look at who they've got on their sidelines like they had last year. Marcus Freeman, head coach, former Ohio State player, right?
Remember, James Laurinaitis coached there last year. I wonder how much he's going to be letting us know defensive scheme. How much of
And I'd love to have had James Laurinaitis out here, but we're never going to see him out here being interviewed. Not as technically a grad assistant. They typically do not have grad assistants come out and do interview sessions, but nonetheless, there's a lot of back and forth. You got Marcus Freeman, Al Washington, Javonte Jean Baptiste, the former Ohio State defensive end, now starting over there for Notre Dame. Then on our side, you've got James Laurinaitis, who used to be on their side. Now he's on our side. You've got Lorenzo Styles Jr., the cornerback, who was at Notre Dame last year as a wide receiver. Then he transfers over here to become a quarterback. So, you just have this interesting dynamic kind of just even between the two teams the last couple of seasons. But it's over there. It's at night. I think they kind of hold they hold the slight advantage because of that, right?
It's going to be interesting to see see how Colin McCord plays in a stadium that Ohio State fans are muted.
Oh yeah.
So much like playing at the Big House, much like playing at Happy Valley.
Buckeye Nation's going to travel to South Bend, but it's going to be a lot more blue and gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. But I think either way, I really do think we're going to see a good game. We were expecting it last year. We really didn't get it.
Yeah.
I expect one this year. And I think it can be a potential shootout. So.
Me too. That's all I got.
There you go. Hey, check out our podcast on Yamo Media, Hey Bucks, every Sunday. We do the podcast, typically released either on a Sunday or on a Monday. Yeah, and then, of course, the Columbus Wired YouTube channel here. We drop all the vids from practices and post games and whatnot. And, hey, let's just hope that two Buckeyes here and all you Buckeyes out there and Buck girls.
Buck gals.
Buck gals. Yeah, that probably sounds better. Buck gals and Buckeyes and Buck girls and Buckies. All you Bucks, all us Bucks that we see a hell of a football game here on Sunday.
Sounds good.
Sunday.
Saturday.
What in the world? Okay,
all right.
It's getting late. It's getting dark. We're
time
getting
to wrap
tired.
it up.
It's time to wrap it up. Everybody take care. Enjoy the game.